Eurozone, and any optimism about Greece's second bailout seems to have already evaporated. On Wednesday, data for the region's service and manufacturing sectors showed a surprise fall in activity in February after a return to growth in January. And today we're going to get official growth forecasts for Europe's main economies that could stoke those fears of a return to recession. So let's get some analysis on this. I'm joined by a colleague. Nice to see you, Colin. To be honest, there's little reason to wonder why there might be some strong growth in Europe at the moment anyway. Interesting, because although we're going to get these growth forecasts for the Eurozone, which will be relatively pessimistic, we've got another business confidence survey out today in Germany in a few hours' time, which they're predicting will show confidence at a 7-month high in Germany. Optimistic, because many this week, obviously, since Monday, have been analysing the second bailout for Greece, the possible worst case scenarios, i.e. Italy, Spain, contagion spreading. What's your thoughts? Reforming, if they're pushing through austerity, restructuring, where does the growth come from in those economies where the unemployment rate is just sky high? We'll see you later. He's going to talk us through today's newspapers. Thanks for the chat on the Eurozone. Let's now squeeze in some other business stories, and the woes of Hewlett-Packard continue. As Rico mentioned, it revealed profits plunging almost 44% in the 3 months to January. The PC markets today, as Rico was mentioning, a lot of stories affecting trade, not least the economic news out of the Eurozone yesterday and out of the US. I might add, a report on housing in the US was unexpectedly poor, which did wobble sentiment as well. In terms of the other stories, the yen, as well as we've mentioned, weakening significantly versus the US dollar. This has boosted some companies that Rico was talking about, the likes of Nintendo and other companies of that nature. If we show you how the dollar yen is doing at the moment, the dollar buying 80 yen. And if we have a look at the other markets, so you can see we haven't got the US markets, but I can tell you the Dow was down by 0.2%, the Nasdaq down by 0.5% at the close. The housing data that I mentioned to you out in the US did impact trade, and of course that Hewlett-Packard news really did wobble sentiment with a lot of technology stocks on the slide. That may well happen today in Europe when the European markets trade, with big names in Europe having a problem in technology. I'll see you soon for a look at the papers.